Hey everyone, it's Sasha Erickson. I hope you're all doing well today. It is the 1st of March of 2017, and I just wanted to pop in and say hello. And I've got a couple announcements for everybody. First, I just wanted to say that I had been away for a little while, and I do apologize that my last video didn't have me talking, it just had some text and music. My grandmother Lillian had a stroke on Friday, and then she passed away on Saturday. And she was somebody who was probably my biggest inspiration in life, next to my mother. And she actually died in my mother's arms. And the ironic thing about it is that my mother said to her the Lord's Prayer as she was passing away. And I had just made that video about the Lord's Prayer literally the day before she had a stroke. And it was just so strange that I chose that to talk about that day. I have so many things I always want to make videos about, but that was, God was just saying, talk about the Lord's Prayer. And so, not only that, but when my mom was there holding her, she was starting to feel like she needed a priest to come, and she had the staff go get the chaplain from the church or from the hospital. And the hospital that she was in and died in was actually the hospital that I was born in, which is also very strange. And then when the chaplain came in to pray with my mother, she started telling him about Lillian's life, and she mentioned that she was married to a Norwegian. This is my oldest Norwegian connection, is that my grandmother Lillian married a Norwegian, my mom's father, Finn Colin. And so my mom was telling the chaplain that she had lived in Norway and was married to a Norwegian, but that she came from London. And then the first thing the chaplain said to her was, "Snakker du norsk?" And what that means is, "Do you speak Norwegian?" And the chaplain knew Norwegian. It turned out that he had lived in Norway at some point and was teaching the Word of God at some churches here. And mind you, this was in Oregon, where I was born, where my grandmother died in the same hospital. It's pretty rare that you would run into a Norwegian in Oregon, especially at that moment. So that was a really big sign from God that he was there with us and helping her transition over. So the chaplain read her last rites in Norwegian to her as my mom said the Lord's Prayer. And then my grandmother Lillian Elizabeth Collin passed away into the next life. So I just wanted to say, I love you, Grandma. I'm not going to cry anymore. I've been crying for like 4 days straight. But yeah. So that's what's been going on with me this past week. So I'm sorry that I wasn't doing my usual stuff. But that I'm back today. Besides the awful news that I had, I have some good news for you guys. As promised, I have another class for everybody that I am going to be offering, or actually I've already uploaded it. It's on Patreon right now. I've mentioned to you guys before that I'm trying to get all of my videos over to Patreon because the YouTube trolls have been really intense lately. They've been super cruel. My Mandela Effect video about the Bible pages fading has like blown up. It has like almost 20,000 views, and I'm getting attacked every 5 minutes. It's been really hard to wake up to all these attacks with my grandmother's passing too. Each day I wake up and I'm being called every name under the sun, and it's been pretty hard. So I hope that I can get to a point where maybe everybody can get over to Patreon and we can keep all the videos over there safe and troll free. So last month I put out a class called the Kaaba 101 Educational Audio Series, and that was all about the Kaaba building in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. And then this month's class that I just uploaded about an hour ago is all about the Black Stone. And the Black Stone is part of the Kaaba building. It's also been called Lucifer Stone. It's basically this meteorite that fell from heaven, and it's what the Muslim people pray to at the Kaaba, the one that they go around the building, 5 times per day. And it is a very interesting class. So if you've ever heard about the black cube or the black stone or any of this stuff, these are what my classes are about. So I just wanted to show my face for a minute because it had been a little while, and just explain why I've been kind of away. And if you guys can send prayers to my family, especially to my mother at this time, it was very traumatic for her to lose her mother in her arms like that. No matter how beautiful and how synchronistic it all ended, it was it's a tragedy. My grandmother was going to be 98 this year, and she was the youngest of 14 children. And her mother and father were from the city of London, and they raised them there all in one little house. And, they got through it. So we think about nowadays how spoiled we are, and how much we think we lack. And when I look back to 100 years ago, the way my grandmother was raised, and her parents did the best they could, and it was 14 kids, they made it work, even if they had to sleep end to end in bed and foot to head. And that's when people say, when was America great? I think that's when America was great. So things used to be a lot simpler, and I hope they can continue to get that way moving forward. Technology is getting really out of control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys a little sample audio from the class that I've just uploaded to Patreon. If you want to be able to hear the whole class, you basically just have to go to Patreon and pledge just $1, and you will have access to last month's class, this month's class, plus about 40 other videos that I have on Patreon only. So, yep, I'll go ahead and wrap up this video and share with you guys some of the audio from the class that I uploaded today. Sorry if this video is a little bit scattered. I'm still a little bit in shock about my grandmother, so I'm doing the best I can. And I was going to do like a monthly reading today, but I really felt that education is really what's needed right now, and I'm getting attacked constantly for doing tarot readings. And I think that I can give you guys just as much guidance and just as much advice without having to use cards, because God's talking to me all day long and trying to pass information through me onto all of you so that we can understand what's really going on, especially with all this unrest about what people perceive to be a Muslim ban and all of this stuff. This is why I made these classes. Now, I made these classes actually several years ago. This isn't anything new, but I haven't had them up for the public until now. So if you'd like to check it out, go to patreon.com, pledge just $1 per month, and you'll get full access to all my videos and all of these classes. And I just want to send all of my love and prayers to everybody out there. Actually, I'll even throw in, there's a little clip of me explaining a bit about the 2 classes from when I was in Ireland a few years ago and first made this. So I'll throw a little couple sample things to explain what these 2 classes are and why they're so important. So the Kaaba 101 educational video series is up, and now the Blackstone 101 educational video series is also up now on Patreon. I love you guys so much, and thanks to all of you who leave me kind words and kind thoughts and kind feedback. It really means the world to me. Okay, I love you guys. See you soon.
Hey guys, it's Stasha, and I am here today in my new hometown of Callan, Kilkenny, Ireland, and I have a wonderful announcement for everybody. I have completed the first audio class series that I've been telling you guys all about the Black Cube. I decided the best way to do this moving forward would be to still give you your own private class. This time, rather than it being a video format, it'll be in an audio class format, and it will still come with an ebook as well. So it's basically a structured class. You'll be listening to me, following along with your book, and there will be multiple parts to this series. The first series that is available is on the Kaaba, which is the Black Cube, and this is all to do with everything that I've been touching about here and there about the place in Mecca. It's basically a mosque in Mecca where there has been a lot of strange activity and things going on. So I have created this series called the Kaaba Educational Audio Series, and it's about an hour-long class, and the ebook is about 15-20 pages, and everything is fully referenced. It's very informative and a lot less opinion-based. Now, of course, I'm going to throw my opinion into everything, because I wouldn't be Mama Sash if not. But these are definitely a lot less about me and my opinion. It's, again, like I said, this is all about the message, not the messenger. I'll have links for everything in the description below. So the first series is going to be on Kaaba, aka the Black Cube, which is the black square mosque building in Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And the second class, which will be the second series, which I'm working on now, is going to be specifically about the black stone. And the black stone is often misconceived to be the same thing as the black cube. However, the black stone is actually the stone that they say fell from heaven, possibly from the days of Adam and Eve, or possibly it's known as the stone of Lucifer. But whatever the stone is, it's literally part of the Kaaba. It is part of the black cube. It is on one of the corners that makes the cube kind of stand together. So what is the stone? Why do every single Muslim pilgrim that come to this place for their Hajj every year, why do they need to touch the stone? Why is there an armed guard that is standing there with an automatic firearm, and if you touch the stone more than once, you'll be blown away? These are all very strange things to me if this is supposed to be a religion of faith and understanding. So there's a lot of information in these series. I have a feeling they may be coming out as quickly as my podcast would have come out, which would be like once a week, at least once a month. It just depends on how quickly I can fix the formats and the bugs and everything. I'm really not a technology person, so I'm doing my best to kind of work with what I've got right now. So I will have the series up for you guys by the time you see this video. And the ebook that comes with it will reference every single thing that we talk about. This first series is going to be a lot to absorb. I can't repeat that enough. So if you can get through this first one, which is very informational and educational, the second series, which will be about the black stone, is going to be a lot more based on conspiracy theory and other fun stuff like that. So just like a regular class in college, sometimes you have to get through the kind of boring stuff first so the rest of it makes sense later. I want people to be as educated as possible, not just throw around things that they've heard or things that they think are true. Do your research. Do multiple references on everything that you research. You can never go by anybody's word. So, I'm very excited. It took me a little longer than I had expected, but I'm really happy with the end result, and I hope that many of you will purchase this class and at least just give it a try. The black stone has many, many, many connections to Lucifer and Adam and Eve, and essentially the fall of man. I've been studying it for several years now, and I still do not really have my head fully wrapped around what is actually going on here. And I'm always checking in to see what humanity needs to know the most about at this time. And if this stone and this cube came up one more time and I didn't talk about it, I felt that I was kind of leaving the people hanging. Compassion and acceptance of all and a balance is severely lacking at this time. And when I see a place and a structure in the world that should be a structure and a location of religious and spiritual significance, when I see people parading around a stone like zombies all day long and fighting over a stone where there's an armed guard with an automatic weapon standing next to the stone, I think there's something going on around here. And I'm going, hello? Is this a zombie world? Does anyone else see that there's something very strange going on here? Hello? Islamic tradition holds that it fell from heaven to show Adam and Eve where to build an altar. Although it has often been described as a meteorite, this hypothesis is now uncertain. Muslim pilgrims circle the Kaaba as part of the Tawaf ritual of the Hajj. Many of them try, if possible, to stop and kiss the black stone, emulating the kiss that Islamic tradition records that it received from Muhammad. If they cannot reach it, they point to it on each of their 7 circuits around the Kaaba. And what they mean by this is that they go around and around and around this Kaaba building 7 times as they're praying. And also, they have to do this 7-time circumambulation 5 times per day. It also has to be facing a specific direction. If they cannot touch the stone, like they said, they have to point at it. This is what I spoke about in the Kaaba class before. In each complete circuit, a person says, in Arabic, "In the name of God, God is great, God is great, God is great, and praise be to God." Once people have kissed the stone, a guard stands ready to push them away. So he is there. Yeah, that is his job. This guard is standing there with his automatic weapon, machine gun, looks like an assault rifle, and he's standing there in his military garb and everything with all of his badges and his regalia. And if you kiss it more than once, he will push you away. And I would say that if you were to get any type of out of hand, you would be probably shot on sight. Its original size is unclear. Its recorded dimensions have changed considerably over time, though, as the stone has been remodeled on several occasions. And it makes me think that whenever these people are remolding or remodeling it, they're probably keeping a little piece for themselves, too. And this also brings me to where I believe that I've seen many other political leaders and other people of power that have pieces of the stone. So this just really confirms more of my theories here, to see that there's more and more of this being pieces of the stone missing at this point. They're definitely giving it to powerful people. Once they really know what this thing does and it gets into the hands of the right person, it can be extremely dangerous. Because people may not believe in witchcraft and witches and wizards and things like that, but they do exist. And the main thing about these people is that if you can at least believe that mind over matter, or like the magic of believing that these things are true, like that your mind is very powerful, then of course, if you know something very powerful and you have a device or an object that is of equal power to the knowledge that you have and the will that you have and the intention that you have, and you could do something really bad with it. So just think about that. Witches and wizards are real, and they're real because they believe these things to be real. And you can really create things with our minds. We create things with our minds, especially for those of you out there that believe we create our own reality. Has a lot to do with that. So if you believe your mind is so powerful, then you have to believe that there's people out there that are creating very dark and very powerful things with their minds and with physical objects combined, and that could really, really be tampering with the rest of humanity. So let's get back to more about the stone then.